Hey friends, Kevin here, your Sacramento, Stockton area Realtor and lender, here with this week's weekly real estate report. Let's take a look at the chart and see what is happening in our neck of the woods. All right, so we have been watching these two numbers right here, the median list price up here and the median sold price right here, wanting to know if these two things are ever going to come back together. Now, the average, since I have been keeping track of records going back, many years now, the 10 years actually, the average split between these is about 60,000. Right now we're at 80,000. So it's not a huge difference from where we should be, but definitely there's a big split. And I keep waiting for one of these two numbers here to give way, either the median list price to come down to match the median sales price, the sales price to come up to match the median list price. But what's interesting, and neither one have been budging for quite some time. In fact, you can see if you look at it carefully there, the median list price, you can see it going up ever so slightly. And the interesting thing here is our median sold price came up and it hit a ceiling right here. It's like, nope. Not going to go any higher than that. So median list price has been running around 635. Well, we are capped right out at 555,000 exactly for what homes are selling for. So big difference right there. I think one of the big issues going on right here, we can actually come back here and talk about this. The pending sales came up, and this is the buying season. Normally we would see this pending sales line continue to go up, but you can see it's kind of capped out right there. And what I was going to say earlier, I think this has a lot to do with where rates are going. So last week, rates went up to 6.94, almost 7%. Now, you have to consider what that means when Freddie Mac says, well, the average rate's 6.94. So let me talk about that just a minute when we get back to rates here at the end and what I have to say about that. But meanwhile, I said that eventually, right about the beginning and middle of March, we should see our inventory start to turn around and start to climb. Well, yay, it is. So that is typical for inventory, enough houses to come on the market to exceed the need right here, our pending sales, and start climbing, even though our pending sales should start climbing as well. So normal to see our available homes, our inventory to start going up. It is normal to see our pending sales go up, but we did have a little bit of a level off right here. So let's talk about rates and why a level off and what I think is actually happening. So as I mentioned last week, Freddie Mac said the average rate came in at 6.94%. Now, luckily, the rate went down a little bit this week to 6.88%. And I've covered this in my Dirty Little Secret series that I did about rates, but it's important to remind people that when you call a lender, when you talk about rates, very few places have a rate. Now, I would get that call or still do every now and then. Hey, Kevin, what's your rate? Well, as lenders, we don't have a rate. We have a rate sheet, and based upon your credit score, your scenario, debt to income ratio, loan to value, all these other factors, we have on our rates, we have give and take on there. But the point I really want to make here is that a lot of lenders, when we look at rate sheets, it has a rate we can offer you, and right next to it is how much money we're going to make on that rate. And years ago, we had laws in effect that would try to take that away, but they've kind of worked themselves back in there. So I believe what happens is a lot of lenders, when they're very busy, can afford to lose a few clients, and therefore they will give a rate that will get them more money. So the lender will make more money with the rate given to you. And then what happens as business starts to kind of dry up or consumers get a little more rate sensitive, which I think a lot of people will when they hear the number 7. So in other words, if somebody offered you a rate of 6.99 and somebody offered you a rate of 7.01, it sounds like a gigantic difference in there. And I think when you hear that 7 point anything, you're going to shop around a little bit until you can find somebody who could get you better rates. My point being, I think rates went up because of it was allowed to get up to near that 7 point. Consumers are sort of used to the 6 point something or another, but now they're hearing 6.97%. And that causes a lot of people to be very rate sensitive and start shopping and calling lenders or asking for a better deal. and lenders start losing some business and have to go back the other way. And they're looking at their rate sheet thinking, hey, I can't really lose another client here. So I'm going to give this folks a better rate. And that means I'm going to make less, but they're going to get a better rate. Now, I want to be very careful to not paint a picture that lenders are all out to get you and they're going to make as much as they can on every loan. I work with some fantastic lenders in the industry who are always honest and fair. I know what they're charging. They're charging they're making a fair amount, actually quite a low amount. Quite a low amount. That's really not proper English, I think. They're not making a lot of money per loan, and they treat their clients very, very well. So I want to make sure I'm very clear with that. But I also want to be clear that I do know for a fact that people like me, brokers who go out to different big lenders, names that you probably haven't heard of because we send our loans to them, they actually fund the loan through us. It is a policy, and it is a known policy, when a particular lender gets very, very busy, they do increase their rates to slow down their business because they can only handle so much capacity. And when their business slows, they go back down, which brings me to a point. That's why brokers are so fantastic, because I have the option to take your loan and send it to any number of different banks, and I have their rate sheets all in front of me. So I can actually look at each lender and go, aha, lender ABC over here looks like they might want some business because they are priced very, very well. And the next day it might be a different lender. So that's one of the nice things about working with a broker, along with other things out there. So anyway, well, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that. And I will see you here, hopefully, next week. Take care. Bye.